the way that we read the game, I think, is very unique between you and I. You can be
Yeah.
very analytical. I can be very passionate and emotional. But I think people are interested to know just kind of who do you see as, maybe a tactical genius in that midfield, or just a player that was so fun to watch. Which player stood out to you the most, and possibly the most important position on the field, which is that of a midfielder?
Yeah, in no particular order, Luka Modric.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, one of the most elegant midfielders, I think, of all time. His control on the ball is absolutely immaculate. Rarely makes a bad decision. Can find pretty much any pass within that midfield sector. And, dude, he's God tier midfielder. He's so efficient, and he's just magical on the ball.
I'm going to copy you here. He's on my top 3 list as well.
Oh, nice.
I have it written down right here. Luka Modric is the first name that came up to me. Then let's have some fun with this then. Who's been a better player for Real Madrid? Modric or Zidane?
You could probably argue Modric just because of his durability and his tenure with Madrid.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Modric was involved in every single Champions League trophy, and he's still there.
Yes.
He's still there. That value alone, I think, kind of says everything. The fact that, Benzema, Cristiano have all left, and countless other players have come and gone through Real Madrid. But they're like, you know what? We want Modric to be our veteran because they trust him. And, he still plays. And what Modric has done for Croatia, a relatively small country in comparison to France, what Modric has done for Croatia over the last 6-7 years, bro, it's been ridiculous. Ridiculous. 2 insane World Cup performances in 2018 and 2022. Yeah. And then, he's been involved at the Euros. I just think you could argue Modric. I think Zidane has maybe reached like bigger heights possibly, but I also think that's maybe down to Zidane's play style.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you can make a really good argument for either, honestly.
I think both, yeah. Zidane is on my list as my second favorite midfielder of all time. I think, obviously, there is a true argument for either one of these guys. I agree with you. I think it's Modric slightly, but Zidane, when you think about what he did for Real Madrid and the level of elegance that he's had in his game, and, playing for Real Madrid during a time that really raised them into prominence. Not to say that Real Madrid was never not Real Madrid. They established that in the fucking 50s and 60s when they're winning countless trophies. But, in the modern era of football, both Barcelona and Real Madrid, 2000 to 2010, needed to reach heights to be able to prove themselves that they are still those big clubs in Spain. And Zidane was part of that movement, the Galácticos, right?
Yeah.
Signing on for them from Juventus and then going on to have a masterful career and winning major trophies in the process and doing things that, now it might be easy to look back on and be like, oh, he's pretty good. But at the time, what he was doing in that midfield, the calmness that he played with, the genius he showed on the ball, it was never seen before, honestly, bro, especially in the middle of the goddamn field. You translate that over to the French team and how he was able to take them to a World Cup final in 2006 and then actually winning it in 1998. I mean, he also has that international level of excellence. Yeah. So I think either one is the right answer here. I just think I lean over to Modric because, 4 or 5 Champions Leagues, man?
Yeah.
And then the heights that he reached with Croatia, a country that is not of the same stature as France when it comes to international football, and doing what he's done time and time again, it's incredible. And so I'm going to go Modric there. But to finalize the conversation, who are your 2 other midfielders that you absolutely adore?
Yeah, I say my second one, Kevin De Bruyne.
Damn it, dude. He's my third.
Yeah. There we go. We got 2 out of 3, essentially.
Damn, dude. Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne, dude, at his best, one of the most precise offensive passers the game has ever seen. And that's what I love about De Bruyne is that he doesn't pass to get around you or to, just facilitate or move the ball. He passes to kill you. And that's nuts. He's like a sniper on the ball.
Like the John Wick of football.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And it's so beautiful to see because, again, I think attacking midfielders, especially nowadays, is becoming more and more of a, let's say, dead position, right? It's a little bit unheard of to see a guy who only passes to facilitate an offense. Yeah. But De Bruyne is that. Whether it's assisting the assister or truly just getting the assist, Kevin De Bruyne is one of the finest at it. And my God, dude, I've seen him execute some of the craziest offensive passes. But that's the thing is that again, there are so many good midfielders who are really good at breaking lines, but De Bruyne does it to kill you. And it's
demoralizing.
It's demoralizing, and it's the most difficult thing to do is to have a penetrative through ball in today's game. And De Bruyne in his prime was one of the best at it.
Incredible analysis. Completely agree. The only person I can compare him to in terms of the danger that their passes possess is him and Messi. And oftentimes, they're the only two I've seen that are capable of time and time again pulling off passes that I just don't see. On the TV, I'm watching the screen. I'll never forget the pass he got off against Newcastle last year where he sent the ball through Joe Willock's legs and got an amazing assist, I believe, to Erling Haaland. Passes like that where I'm like, bro, like I've never seen it. Only other person that's comparable is Messi and the things I've seen him do. But it's those passes that you just like, the fact you're watching it from a different vantage point and you can't predict what he's going to do is an insane ability to have on the ball. And he does it over and over again to such a tight and excellent level. He is the engine behind the success of Manchester City these past 6-7 years. He is one of the greatest, if not to many, the greatest midfielder that the Premier League has ever seen. What he has done in an individual level is absolutely incredible. I'm with you, man. He is my third all-time favorite midfielder, which leaves me wondering, who's your final selection, bro?
Yeah, final selection here. You picked an old head with Zidane. I'm going to pick a slightly newer old head, but still an old head, I guess you could maybe say.
Okay.
Kaka.
Really?
Yeah, big
I never
fan.
knew you to be a Kaka guy.
Big Kaka fan. Brazilian flair, maxed
You don't
out.
mean Koke, bro?
Not getting the pronunciation
Yeah,
wrong.
bro, you sure? Atleti's midfielder for over a decade, bro. You don't mean Koke?
100% sure, bro.
Shit.
Kaka, Brazilian flair, completely maxed out as from a midfield perspective. You think about like a true 10, Kaka is exactly that. Just finding themselves in these tight pockets, but having the skill and honestly the filth to pull off some just really good offensive performances, but from an attacking midfield position. That's what I really liked about Kaka is that, dude, the way he carried himself on the pitch was pretty much every time he touched the ball, even if it was just to receive it, to pass it, is a little bit of a fuck you every single time, bro. And I just love that because his style was so distinctive. When he was playing, there was not a single player on the planet that touched the ball the way that Kaka did. And I loved watching him play. It was very important to my development as a football watcher early on in my career because I got to see Kaka play from like 2009 to 2012, just at the end of like his prime, essentially. But I got to see a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, wow, Kaka is of a different breed. Yeah. And absolutely brilliant to see him when he was definitely on it. Had deceptive pace, but again, dude, his skill was just honestly otherworldly, especially at the time. And winning a Ballon d'Or, like Kaka's, in my opinion, just for me, one of the better midfielders out there. And personally, I just loved watching him play.
He has an incredible highlight, one against Manchester United at Old Trafford during Champions League when he was back with AC Milan. He's racing towards the ball. The ball's bouncing. He lifts it up, and he forces two Man United defenders to clash and butt heads together, bro. And then in the process, nice little slip finish to go past the goalkeeper. And it was a goal like that. I was like, bro, I've never seen a guy juke out defenders to the point where they crash into each other like that, especially during that era of football. That iconic photo where he is taking off his shirt, and underneath he has a shirt that says, I belong to Jesus. He has some crazy moments when you look at it, like in terms of footballing history, man. Like winning he was at one point the last Ballon d'Or that wasn't named Messi or Ronaldo up until Luka Modric won it. The commercials he was a part of with Nike and all these things. He was so involved in what was such an important phase of football for me growing up. Who doesn't like Kaka, man? One of the most likable guys on the planet, man. And lastly, Brazilians of that skin tone tend to be disgusting as fuck, man.
Oh, dude.
Dude. Like,
filthy on the ball.
Filthy, man.
That's what I'm saying. Every time I touch the ball, he sprinkled a little bit of filth on it, man. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy. I don't want to get racial with it. I'm just saying, like, it's great. Like, Pato, too, is a very pale Brazilian.
Oscar at the time in 2014.
Incredible, too, man. Yeah. It's crazy, but that's what made him just so... I don't know, just different, man. Different to watch, man. It's fucking crazy. That's a good fucking pick. But damn, no Koke then.
I just can't.
I was wondering if an Atleti midfielder would make it.
Nah. The only Atleti midfielder, honorable mention Atleti midfielder, Arda Turan.
Okay.
Arda Turan got them to the Champions League final in 2014. Unfortunately, was injured for that final. But he too, at his best, played with a filth to him. And that's why I loved him, because like De Bruyne, he only looked to kill off the pass, just obviously less efficient, right? But yeah, Turan definitely probably my favorite attacking midfielder for Atleti.